Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, we got some mini camp news and notes, plus a juicy trade rumor to get into. But before we do that, help us out. We're almost at 3,000 followers over on Rumble. I know how you guys feel about Rumble. Help us get to 3,000 followers. If you're watching on Rumble, hit that follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, go follow us over there, rumble.com/ChiefsTV. More exclusive Chiefs videos coming your way each and every day. Welcome in to the Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Day 2 of minicamp is in the books. Got a couple of nuggets that have come out of minicamp so far, but coming up in a little bit, could the Chiefs trade for Robert Quinn? He is skipping Bears minicamp, which has led to more trade speculation around the veteran pass rusher. Stay tuned. We'll get to that later on in the show. Now, this caught headlines at day 1 of minicamp. Didn't get a chance to break this down yesterday, so I thought I'd kick it off on today's show. Juan Thornhill, could he have an all-pro year? Well, that wasn't on my radar, but you know who put it on my radar? Juan Thornhill. He put it out there saying, I'm having an all-pro season. I'm putting that out there. That's what he said on Monday. He, of course, is entering the final year of his rookie contract. That's a bold proclamation, to say the least. On Tuesday, I should say, as we're now through on Wednesday. Look, I'll say this. Elite Juan Thornhill would be huge. And if we go back to his rookie season when he looked like a future potential All-Pro in the making before he tore that ACL in Week 17, which has caused an inconsistent play the last 2 years. If we get closer to what we had that year, 2019, when he had 3 picks, including a touchdown, was flying around and looked like the steal of the draft late in the second round. If he could get closer to that form, and he talked about saying, I'm back, I feel all the way back for the first time since that season, I mean, that would be huge. There's no doubt. I thought toward the end of last year he started to look right again, because that first year after the ACL in 2020, he just didn't look the same. Only started 8 games. Last year, early on in the year, was beat out by Dan Sorensen, but worked his way back into the starting lineup. I thought down the stretch he played some of his best football he had played since his rookie season. Now he should be fully healthy this year, and it's put up or shut up time for Juan Thornhill, because after this year he's a free agent, and if he doesn't perform, especially considering the Chiefs drafted Brian Cook, it's not like they're obligated to keeping him long term. In fact, I would say going into this year there's a better chance they do not than that they actually would. So he's going to have to deliver and live up to the expectations that the Chiefs had for him when they drafted him, and that he created for himself after a strong rookie year and based on his recent comments. I want to ask you guys, will Juan Thornhill have his best season yet? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I hope so. If he does, it's a damn good year, because he was great in 2019. How about even your second best year? If you're better than 2020 and 21, that would be fantastic. Give me a Y for yes, or give me an N for no. Let's talk a little bit about minicamp. Frank Clark remains absent. We finally got some clarity that he is excused from minicamp because he is expecting the birth of his child. So first of all, congrats to him and his on that. I think this explains some things. He hasn't been at OTAs. Now he's not at minicamp. That obviously could play a role awaiting the birth of a child. So I think that clears some of the air on why he hasn't been that involved this offseason. But I will maintain what I've said. Frank Clark needs to be better. He needs to be better than what he's been the past couple of years. They traded for him after they shipped out D Ford after the 2018 season and expected him to play at a very, very high level. 8 sacks his first year, was great in the playoffs. That overall was a good season. 2020, dipped in production last year, dipped even more. The Chiefs need him to produce. You know why? Because look at what they got at defensive end. It's not exactly stellar, okay? After Frank Clark, which is, by the way, a player who's been declining, George Karlaftis, rookie. We've talked about that. Michael Dana, Joshua Kando, what are these guys going to give you? I don't know. You're very thin at the position already, so you need Frank Clark, a guy you're paying to be reliable, to be productive. You need that to be the case here in 2022. I'm not saying he needs to go out and have 15 sacks, but can he get back to the 8-sack range? There's no reason why he can't be that player. He's got the talent to do it. He's just got to make more plays and be more disruptive coming off the edge. Predict it for me. What do you think? How many sacks will Frank Clark have this year? I'll guess like 6.5. I'll just throw a dart up there. I think he'll be better than last year when he had 4.5, but I don't have huge expectations. I think he'll be decent. He'll be okay. That's kind of what he's been the last year and a half, 2 years. But I don't think he'll play, at a Pro Bowl or certainly an All-Pro type of level. Chiefs Kingdom, appreciate you guys for always supporting us here on this channel. The easiest way to support us is to subscribe. Hit that big red button. It's 100% free. Sometimes you guys say, stop asking me to subscribe, this, that. And I understand. It gets old. But this is how we grow. This is how I'm able to put food on the table. This is how we're allowed to do more videos for you guys. Because at Chat Sports, we have over 25 different YouTube channels. And the ones that get the most subscribers, they get the most content, the most resources. And that's how we roll. We're kind of a Tier 2 channel at Chat Sports, over 30,000 subs. Certainly one of our upper echelon ones. But, we got 2 channels over 100,000, including the Raiders Report. A couple other ones, 50K or more. So we're trying to get to that level. Subscribe, support us, daily coverage. We'll continue to ramp it up the more that we're able to grow. All right, let's get to the headliner, if you will. We teased it earlier. Robert Quinn. Could the Chiefs trade for the veteran pass rusher? Well, he is skipping Bears minicamp, and the Bears made it very clear that it's an unexcused absence for Robert Quinn. It's not a Frank Clark situation. Like, they expected him to be there, and he is not. That, of course, has caused trade rumors to ramp back up once again for Robert Quinn, which they've been circulating on and off through the offseason because the Bears are kind of transitioning right now from an old staff to a new regime, and they already traded Khalil Mack, and Robert Quinn's 32, and it makes sense if the Bears want to consider trading him. I think the Chiefs should trade for him, straight up, because I don't like what they have at the defensive end position. We showed you the depth chart earlier. You need more. Even if Frank Clark is locked in and engaged, even if Karlaftis is a good rookie, you're still a couple of players shy. I like Dana as like a 4th edge rusher, but imagine if you sign Robert Quinn, who had 18.5 sacks last year, an unbelievable season. I don't think he'll do that, but even if he gets you 8 to 10 sacks, even if his production's cut in half in that regard, that's still really good. That's still better than what you have. Him and Clark off the edge with Karlaftis as your 3rd guy, Dana as your 4th guy, that's a lot better than what you currently have. That's just a cold, hard fact. So I would absolutely do this if I was Kansas City. So I cooked up a trade for you guys. Robert Quinn for a 3rd-round pick and a 5th-round pick. I think that's fair. The Bears might want a 2nd, but maybe a compromise there is a 3rd and a 5th, or a day 3 pick their way as well. Keep the more premium pick in the 2nd round at your disposal. I think this is a fair trade for both sides, and the Chiefs get a key pass rusher as they try to chase another Super Bowl. Who wins this trade? This exact trade idea. Type C for the Chiefs, type B for the Bears. I think both win. I think it's a good deal for both. The Bears get future assets, and the Chiefs get a win-now piece at a position that they desperately need to improve at. I think he could be the missing piece. I really do. I think you're one legitimate edge rusher away from really not having a weakness on your entire roster. Certainly certain positions are stronger than others, but I think Robert Quinn could come in here, give you 10 or so sacks, be that disruptive guy, and make it tougher on offensive lines in terms of who you block. Chris Jones, Robert Quinn, maybe it frees up Frank Clark a little bit more to capitalize on his opportunities. I would love to see this happen and see Robert Quinn in Kansas City. So we'll see what the next few weeks hold for the Bears and Quinn and that whole situation, and we'll see if Brett Veach, a guy who's been aggressive in the past, tries to pursue this. All right, that's going to do it for today's Chiefs Report. Give me a follow on social media. It's at HGramNFL on Twitter and over on Instagram. Same handle, both platforms, at HGramNFL. We'll see you soon with more videos here on the Chiefs Report.